Did you know? There are millions of people taking diabetes medication every single day, but their blood sugar still stays high. They cut sugar. They walk every morning. They try different diets. Some even stop eating the foods they love. And yet, their energy keeps crashing. Their feet start tingling. Their vision becomes blurry. Their belly fat refuses to go away. And their glucose numbers still look terrible. Now here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear from social media, health experts. Diabetes is not just a sugar problem. It's a metabolic problem. And one of the biggest hidden reasons your blood sugar may stay uncontrolled is because your body could be lacking critical vitamins your cells desperately need to function properly. That's right. Your body literally uses certain vitamins to help insulin work, move glucose into your cells, support your pancreas, reduce inflammation, and protect your nerves and organs from diabetic damage. But most diabetics never think about that. They focus only on avoiding candy, soda, or carbs, while ignoring the silent nutrient deficiencies making their condition worse every single day. And honestly, that's why so many people stay stuck. Because you cannot expect your body to regulate blood sugar efficiently when it's running on empty internally. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to drive a car with low engine oil. You can keep pressing the gas pedal all day, but eventually something inside starts breaking down. That's exactly what happens inside the body of many diabetics. And here's something even more shocking. Some diabetes medications themselves may reduce important nutrients over time, especially if someone has been diabetic for years. So while people think they're managing diabetes, their body may secretly be getting weaker underneath. That's why today's video is extremely important, because I'm going to show you the top 3 vitamins every diabetic should know about. Vitamins that may help support healthier blood sugar levels, better insulin sensitivity, improved energy, and even help protect your nerves and organs from long-term diabetic damage. And no, this is not one of those fake miracle cure videos. There is no magic pill that erases diabetes overnight. Anyone telling you that is either lying to you or trying to sell you something. Real health doesn't work like that. But what science does show is that certain vitamin deficiencies are incredibly common in diabetics, and correcting them may help the body function much more effectively. Now before we start, there's something very important you need to understand. Do not blindly buy supplements just because someone on TikTok or YouTube told you to. That's dangerous. More vitamins does not always mean better health. In fact, taking the wrong supplement in the wrong amount can actually make things worse. Some supplements interfere with medications. Some can affect your kidneys. And some people don't even need certain vitamins at all. That's why this video is about education, not hype. I want you to understand what these vitamins actually do inside the body, why diabetics often become deficient in them, and what warning signs you should never ignore. Because once you understand the root problem, you stop behaving like a desperate patient and start thinking like someone who actually wants to take control of their health. And let's be honest, most people wait until diabetes destroys something before they finally get serious. They wait until the numbness starts, until their eyesight changes, until the fatigue becomes unbearable, until their doctor increases their medication again. That's backwards. The smartest people act before things get worse. And if you're watching this right now, this video could genuinely help you avoid mistakes millions of diabetics are making every day. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the vitamin many diabetics are severely low in without realizing it, the nutrient that may help improve insulin function, and the powerful vitamin linked to nerve protection and energy support. Plus, I'll also explain the biggest supplement mistake diabetics make that nobody talks about. And trust me, you do not want to skip that part. Because supplement companies love selling people hope without explaining the risks. Now one more thing before we continue. If your blood sugar is constantly high, if you feel tired all the time, if your hands or feet feel numb, or if you've been struggling to control your diabetes despite trying everything, then pay very close attention to this video. Because one missing nutrient could be making your entire situation harder than it needs to be. And no, I'm not saying vitamins replace medication, healthy eating, exercise, or your doctor's advice. Anyone who says that is irresponsible. But supporting your body with the nutrients it actually needs? That's common sense. especially when diabetes puts extra stress on nearly every organ in your body. So today, we're going to uncover the 3 vitamins that could make a real difference for many diabetics. And the first one on this list is honestly shocking, because millions of diabetics are deficient in it, and most don't even know it. Chapter 1: Vitamin D. The hidden deficiency many diabetics ignore. So let's start with the first vitamin on this list. And honestly, this one surprises a lot of people. Because when most people hear the words vitamin D, they think about bones, sunlight, maybe immunity, but very few people realize that vitamin D also plays a major role in blood sugar regulation and insulin function. And this is where things get serious. Research has shown that many people with type 2 diabetes are actually deficient in vitamin D. Not slightly low, severely low. And the scary part? Most of them have absolutely no idea. Because vitamin D deficiency doesn't always scream for attention immediately. It slowly drains the body over time. You feel tired more often. Your mood drops. Your muscles feel weaker. You gain weight easier. Your cravings increase. Your energy crashes after meals. And many diabetics assume all of this is just part of diabetes. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes the body is literally missing one of the nutrients it needs to function properly. Now here's what most people don't understand. Your body uses insulin like a key. That key helps move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells where it can be used for energy. But when your body becomes insulin resistant, that key stops working efficiently. And guess what vitamin D may help support? Insulin sensitivity. That means your cells may respond better to insulin when your vitamin D levels are healthy. Now let's be clear. Vitamin D is not a cure for diabetes. Anyone promising that is misleading you. But studies suggest that healthy vitamin D levels may support better glucose metabolism and overall metabolic health. That matters, especially because modern lifestyles are creating vitamin D deficiencies everywhere. Think about how people live now. Most people wake up, sit indoors, drive in cars, work inside offices, come home exhausted, and stare at screens all night. Very little sunlight. And sunlight is one of the main ways the body naturally produces vitamin D. Now add diabetes on top of that, and the situation can get worse. Because many diabetics already struggle with inflammation, obesity, poor sleep, and metabolic dysfunction, all of which may be connected to lower vitamin D levels. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Some people are trying to eat healthy while completely ignoring nutrient quality. They count calories, but don't care whether their body is actually nourished. That's a mistake, because your body doesn't run on calories alone. It runs on nutrients. And when those nutrients are missing, your metabolism suffers. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm low in vitamin D? Here are some common warning signs many people ignore. Constant fatigue even after sleeping, muscle weakness, feeling tired after small activities, low mood or brain fog, frequent sickness, slow recovery, bone discomfort, poor energy throughout the day. And yes, many diabetics experience several of these symptoms regularly. But instead of checking nutrient levels, they just accept feeling terrible as normal. That's dangerous thinking. Because normalizing poor health is how problems quietly become chronic. Now here's where people make another huge mistake. The second they hear vitamin D helps diabetics, they rush online and start taking massive doses without testing anything. That's reckless. More is not always better. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means excessive amounts can build up in the body, and too much can create serious issues, especially for people with kidney problems or certain medical conditions. This is why smart people test first, not guess. A simple blood test can tell you whether your levels are low, normal, or severely deficient. That's real health management, not blindly copying influencers. And honestly, social media has created a terrible habit where people want shortcuts instead of understanding their body. One person says, "Take this supplement and reverse diabetes naturally." And millions of desperate people believe it. But real health improvement is usually boring. Consistency, nutrition, sleep, movement, stress control, medical guidance, long-term habits. That's the stuff that actually changes lives, not miracle hacks. Now let's talk about food sources for vitamin D because this part matters too. Some foods naturally contain small amounts of vitamin D, including fatty fish like salmon and tuna, egg yolks, fortified milk, certain yogurts, mushrooms exposed to UV light. But here's the problem. For many people, food alone still may not be enough to correct a serious deficiency, especially if they rarely get sunlight. And that's why some doctors recommend vitamin D supplementation after testing levels. Notice the important phrase there. After testing. Not randomly. And definitely not because some internet guru promised perfect blood sugar. Now another thing diabetics need to understand, high blood sugar itself creates stress inside the body. Over time, that stress affects blood vessels, nerves, organs, and energy production. That's why supporting your body nutritionally matters so much. Because diabetes is not just about surviving today. It's about protecting your future. Your eyesight, your kidneys, your nerves, your heart. And the truth is, many people wait until damage begins before they finally take their health seriously. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Prevention is always easier than repair. Always. Now there's something else nobody talks about enough. Poor sleep and low vitamin D often go together. And bad sleep can worsen insulin resistance even more. Meaning many diabetics are trapped in a cycle. Low energy, poor sleep, worse cravings, higher blood sugar, more fatigue. Over and over again. This is why improving health is never about one thing. Everything connects. Your nutrition affects your energy. Your energy affects your movement. Your movement affects insulin sensitivity. Your sleep affects hormones. Your hormones affect blood sugar. The body works like a system. And smart people learn to support the entire system, not just chase one number on a glucose monitor. So if there's one thing I want you to remember from this chapter, it's this. Don't underestimate vitamin D. It may seem basic, but deficiencies can quietly affect energy, metabolism, insulin function, mood, and overall health more than most people realize. And for diabetics especially, ignoring foundational nutrition while only focusing on medication is like trying to fix a leaking roof by repainting the walls. You're treating symptoms while missing part of the deeper issue. Now in the next chapter, we're going to talk about a vitamin that many long-term diabetics become dangerously low in, especially people taking certain diabetes medications, and the symptoms can become terrifying if ignored. Chapter 2: Vitamin B12, the nerve-protecting vitamin many diabetics are losing without realizing it. Now let's talk about a vitamin that almost nobody warns diabetics about enough. Vitamin B12. And honestly, this chapter could be life-changing for some people watching right now. Because millions of diabetics, especially long-term diabetics, may slowly become deficient in vitamin B12 without even realizing it. And the scary part? The symptoms often get blamed on diabetes itself. So people ignore the warning signs, while the damage quietly gets worse. Now here's something extremely important you need to know. One of the most commonly prescribed diabetes medications in America has been linked in studies to lower vitamin B12 levels over time in some people. That means someone could be faithfully taking their diabetes medication every day, while their B12 levels slowly decline year after year. And if that deficiency becomes severe, the nervous system can start suffering. This is why some diabetics experience tingling in the hands or feet, burning sensations, numbness, weakness, brain fog, memory problems, fatigue, balance issues. And they assume, oh, that's just diabetes. Not always. Sometimes the body is desperately lacking vitamin B12. Now let's understand why this vitamin matters so much. Vitamin B12 helps support healthy nerve function, red blood cell production, and energy metabolism. In simple words, your body needs it to keep your nervous system functioning properly. And diabetics already face a higher risk of nerve damage due to prolonged high blood sugar. So when B12 deficiency enters the picture too, the situation can become even worse. That's why this vitamin matters so much. Now here's another uncomfortable truth. A lot of people wait until symptoms become severe before they pay attention. That's backwards. They ignore fatigue, ignore numbness, ignore brain fog, ignore weakness, until one day their quality of life starts collapsing. And honestly, modern lifestyles make this even more common. Poor diets, processed food, stress, digestive issues, long-term medication use. All of these can affect nutrient absorption. Now here's where many people make a terrible mistake. The second they hear vitamin B12 helps diabetics, they start megadosing random supplements online. Again, reckless thinking, because not everyone needs the same dose. And blindly taking supplements without testing levels is not smart health management. The intelligent approach? Get evaluated properly, especially if you've been diabetic for years or take long-term medication. Now let's talk about natural food sources because this matters too. Vitamin B12 is mostly found in animal-based foods like fish, eggs, meat, dairy products, poultry, which means strict vegetarians or older adults may sometimes face a higher risk of deficiency. And here's something else people ignore. As we age, the body may absorb B12 less efficiently, so older diabetics need to pay even closer attention. Now remember this carefully. Vitamin B12 does not magically cure diabetes, but protecting your nerves, energy levels, and brain function while managing diabetes? That's incredibly important, because diabetes is not just about surviving, it's about maintaining quality of life. And many people don't realize how badly nerve damage can affect everyday living until it starts happening to them. Walking becomes uncomfortable, sleep becomes difficult, even simple daily activities become frustrating. That's why prevention matters more than panic. So if you've been feeling exhausted, mentally foggy, weak, or numb lately, don't ignore it. Your body may be trying to warn you about something deeper. And sometimes the smartest thing a diabetic can do is stop treating symptoms casually and start looking at the bigger picture. Chapter 3: Magnesium, the mineral that could quietly affect blood sugar, sleep, and cravings. Now the third nutrient on this list is one most people completely overlook: magnesium. And honestly, this may be one of the most underrated nutrients connected to blood sugar health. High voltage. Because magnesium plays a role in hundreds of processes inside the body, including insulin function, muscle function, sleep, nerve signaling, and energy production. Yet many people are walking around deficient without knowing it, especially diabetics. Now here's why this matters. When blood sugar stays high for long periods, the body may lose more magnesium through urine, meaning diabetics may become depleted over time. And low magnesium levels may be linked to problems like poor insulin sensitivity, muscle cramps, fatigue, sleep issues, sugar cravings, weakness, stress, low energy. Sound familiar? That's because many diabetics experience these symptoms constantly. But instead of addressing nutrient balance, they only focus on cutting carbs harder and harder. Again, incomplete thinking. Because the body is not a calculator. It's a biological system. And systems break down when essential nutrients are missing. Now let's talk about cravings for a second because this part is important. A lot of diabetics struggle with intense sugar cravings. And while cravings are complex, poor sleep, stress, insulin resistance, and nutrient imbalances may all contribute. That means some people are fighting cravings with pure willpower, while their body is already exhausted internally. That's why sustainable health requires more than discipline alone. Your biology matters too. Now, one thing magnesium is also known for is supporting relaxation and sleep quality. And poor sleep is a massive hidden problem in diabetes. In fact, even one bad night of sleep can affect blood sugar control the next day. Think about that. People obsess over one cookie, while ignoring chronic sleep deprivation destroying their metabolic health every week. That's how disconnected modern health advice has become. Now, before you run to buy magnesium supplements, listen carefully. Not all magnesium products are the same, and too much magnesium can cause side effects, especially for people with kidney problems or certain medical conditions. This is why smart supplementation should always involve awareness, proper guidance, and moderation, not desperation. Now let's talk about natural magnesium-rich foods. Some great sources include spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocados, black beans, dark leafy greens. And notice something interesting. Most of these are real, whole foods, not ultra-processed junk. Because the body tends to function better when you consistently nourish it properly instead of constantly attacking it with processed food, sugar overload, stress, and poor sleep. And honestly, this is where many people fail. They want advanced solutions while ignoring basic habits. That's like trying to build a strong house on a broken foundation. Now let's be realistic. No vitamin or mineral alone will fix diabetes. Anyone selling that fantasy is manipulating fear and desperation. But supporting your body with the nutrients it needs while improving sleep, nutrition, movement, and medical care, that's intelligent health management. That's sustainable. And that's what actually gives people the best chance at improving long-term outcomes. So if there's one final thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. Diabetes management is not just about avoiding sugar. It's about supporting the entire body. Your nerves, your metabolism, your sleep, your energy, your organs, your future. And sometimes, small deficiencies create bigger problems than people realize. That's why paying attention early matters. Because the people who protect their health best are usually not the ones chasing miracle cures. They're the ones consistently supporting their body before serious damage begins. Conclusion. So at the end of the day, here's the truth most people need to hear. Diabetes is not something you manage by fear alone. And it's definitely not something you fix with random miracle supplements from the internet. Real diabetes management is about understanding your body before your body starts breaking down. Because high blood sugar doesn't just affect one thing. It slowly affects your energy, your nerves, your sleep, your heart, your brain, your kidneys, and your overall quality of life. That's why ignoring nutrition is such a huge mistake. Today we talked about 3 important nutrients many diabetics should pay attention to. Vitamin D, which may support insulin function, energy, and overall metabolic health. Vitamin B12, especially important for nerve health and long-term diabetics taking certain medications. Magnesium, a key mineral connected to blood sugar balance, sleep, cravings, and muscle function. But remember this carefully. These vitamins are not magic cures. And anybody promising you that diabetes can disappear overnight is selling fantasy, not health. The people who improve their health long-term usually do boring things consistently. They eat better. They sleep better. They move their body daily. They reduce stress. They stay informed. They work with medical professionals. And they stop ignoring warning signs. That's what actually creates change, not desperation. And honestly, one of the biggest problems today is that people wait too long before taking their health seriously. They wait until the numbness starts, until the fatigue becomes constant, until medications increase, until complications appear. Don't be that person. Your body gives warnings before it gives consequences. Pay attention to them early. And one more important thing. Never start high-dose supplements blindly just because social media told you to. Get tested when necessary. Talk to your healthcare provider. Understand what your body actually needs. Because smart health decisions are based on information, not hype. If this video helped you understand diabetes in a deeper way, make sure to take action, not just motivation. Because information without action changes absolutely nothing. And remember, the goal is not just to live longer. The goal is to stay healthy enough to actually enjoy your life while living longer.